Okay, y'all. Oh, Lord have mercy. I am somebody tired, honey. All right, I want to talk about two things real quick. I was going to make two videos, but I said, no, I can just talk about these two videos in this one video. So the first thing I want to talk about, y'all, this is about to be a little rant, is old people. When I say old people, I mean people 70 plus, like 65 to 85, something like that, that's still able to get out in the public and communicate with people. If y'all old people don't start showing people respect, somebody gonna take y'all cane from under y'all leg and allow y'all to fall. I have never in my life seen so many rude, disrespectful old people. When I say old, I'm talking about like the age group, 70 and above. I say that. Listen, just because you are older does not mean that you don't have to respect people. Does not mean that you know, I'm old. A lot of people, I don't know what it is about older folk, that because you reached a certain age in life, you feel like you don't owe nobody no respect. You get to dismiss people, talk to people any kind of way you want. You can't do that to people. Some people do not care that you in your 70s, 80s, 90s, or even 100s. If you don't show them respect, they're not going to show you no respect. And why is y'all so mean? Why? If the good Lord has allowed y'all to live to be that age, you ought to be happy. You ought to be thankful. You ought to be grateful. But I find it that a lot of old people, y'all is so mean. You're mean and nasty. And you need to stop it. My goodness. So anyway, that's one thing I wanted to say. Y'all old people better be careful, because I'm telling you, when you give it to these people, people going to give it right back to you. And they not going to care that you older. They're not going to care that you on an oxygen machine or walking with a cane or walking like a baby. They don't care about that. They're going to let y'all old people have it. So, older people, be respectful, be kind, the same way you want somebody to be respectful and kind to you. Just because you older don't mean you get to be nasty and hateful and talk to people any kind of way because you old. Being old is not a license to be rude. Thank you. The next thing I want to talk about is parents that have adult children that live in your house with you and they are disrespectful to you and they are abusing you, and you are taking it because you are feeling guilty about how you treated your child when they were small. Let me tell you something. Don't let no child guilt trip you. You don't have to live in guilt. You don't have to live in shame. You don't have to take an abuse from your child. Listen, a lot of parents, when you were younger, you may have neglected your child. You may have allowed your child to be SA'd by a boyfriend or a husband. You may have abused your child. You may have gave your child up for adoption. You may not have done the best thing for your child. There may have been some horrible things that you allowed as a mother, as a father, to happen to your child. But let me tell you something. There's a thing called reconciliation. There's a thing called forgiveness. When you have come to the place in your life now, your children are grown, but you still have some children that harbor hate, they harbor anger, they harbor unforgiveness in their hearts for their parents, because of how their parents neglected them. Okay, rightfully so. People have a right to be mad and be angry. But let me tell you something. People don't get to have a right to hang it over your head for the rest of your life. If you have acknowledged and accepted what you have allowed to happen to your child in their past. And I don't mean just say, well, look, that was in the past. It's over. I'm done. No, you can't have that attitude. But you're going to have to set your children down. And you're going to have to, your adult children now. And you have to tell them, I was wrong. As your mama, as your daddy, I was wrong for how I neglected you. I was wrong for how I allowed that man to essay you. I was wrong for giving you for adoption. I was wrong for being on drugs when you was a child and I neglected you and left you and did this and that. You have to set your children out and genuinely apologize to them and ask them to forgive you. Once you've done that, you've asked the Lord first. Now you've asked your children. Once you have done that, guess what? You are released. You are released from all of that regret. You are released from all of that shame. You are released from all of that guilt that you do not have to live in fear with your children. Do you understand, parents? Stop allowing your children to abuse you because they're holding all of that stuff that happened to them when they were younger. And it may take some time. The process of healing may take some time, but you got to be. Some children, adult children, are not willing to go through the process of being healed. They just want to make your life a living HELL. That's what they want to do. But you don't have to allow your children to do that. None of us were great parents. None of us did what we were supposed to do. We weren't perfect. And we take responsibility for that. So don't ever be a parent when you say, well, I allow my child to beat on me. I allow my child to cuss me out, disrespect me. I deserve it because when they was smaller, I didn't neglect my children, so I deserve this. No, you don't. You deserve to be treated well. You deserve to have the respect now because you've done what you were supposed to do as a parent. You've asked God to forgive you. You went through everything you need to go through. If you had to get counsel or whatever, you've done it. You even asked your children for forgiveness. Now, whether your children forgive you or not, that's on them. They don't have to. They can choose to or not to. Once you acknowledge it was bad, it was horrible, then there is nothing else you can do. So don't live the rest of your life feeling guilty, feeling shame, and getting abused and getting mistreated by your child. And they keep saying, treating you bad and saying, well, you did us like this when we were little. Stop letting them bring up that stuff to you. You've already acknowledged what you've done with a sincere heart. And then you've already done everything that you could do. Some of y'all have done everything that you could do for your child because you're trying to compensate to them for what you've done in the past, and it's never enough. You've bought them homes, you bought them cars, you have taken care of their children, you take your money and do everything you need to do for them. You've done everything for your child, and guess what? They still disrespect you because they're still trying to hold that flag over you of what you didn't do when they was a child. Some of them even blame you for their life. And they say if my mama or my daddy hadn't done this, I'd be a better person. No, we are all adults now. And we all have to do what? Stand on our own 2 feet and take responsibility for our lives. Because we can't change nothing and we can't blame folk. We got to go on ahead and live. So let me tell you, parents, y'all better be free today. Stop letting your adult children abuse you, take advantage of you, and hold all this stuff that happened in the past over your head. You've done and made peace with God. You've already asked for their forgiveness. You have acknowledged what you've done is wrong with love and from a sincere heart. You've even done everything you can to try to mend the gap between you and your child. You've done it. But it is still not enough. Your child will still come out of a bag on you, honey. And you do not have to accept that. You don't. And you don't deserve to be treated that way. You don't. So be free. You parents, be free. Now, if your child don't want to forgive, you ain't got nothing to do with them harboring hate, harboring all that anger in them. They got to release it. If you release your pain, you've released everything you've been through, they got to release it too. but you don't get to be their punching bag, and you don't get to be dogged for the rest of your life. No, it's not fair and it's not right. We're adults now, and we face we took responsibility for what we're supposed to take responsibility for, and if that didn't settle, honey, it just won't be settled. But I want you parents to be free. I hate to see stuff like that. Adult children still, mistreating their parents so horribly, and the parents just sit there and take it because they feel like, well, I want the best parent, so that's why Sally Sue treat me the way she do. No, baby, Sally Sue would have to get away from me. Because you got to know, parent, you are somebody. You deserve to be treated well. You didn't do things right. You acknowledged it. You took responsibility for it. You've tried to bridge the gap. You've done everything that you can possibly do to help that grown child of yours. But they don't want to change. They just want to harbor in unforgiveness. And guess what? It's not your responsibility no more. You don't have to take responsibility for it no more. Be free. Love y'all. Bye.